Hello folks, it's Reem again with another Conquest tournament report. For round 3, we played Declined Flank, and it was My 100 Kingdoms versus I Like Taco's Spire list. So, let's get into the lists. My list, I have video, we've gone over it several times, but a quick overview. Imperial Officer with 2 Hunter Cadres, 2 Steel Legion, 2 Chapter Mages, both with Mercenary Crossbowsmen, but one is fire and one is water. We have a Noble Lord with a bunch of items, Household Guard Brick that the Noble Lord will be in, 2 Men-at-Arms, and a unit of Longbows. So we're testing out Steel Legion MSUs, we're testing out Hunter Cadre Null Mages, and then the Noble Lord with those sets of items. My opponent for the round was I Like Tacos, running Spires. Their Warlord was a Biomancer with Master Flesh. They had 2 Abominations, Siegebreaker, 3 units of Force-Grown Drones with the Catabolic Nodes, so they explode. Unit of Strix, unit of Marksman Clones with a High Clone Executor, and a unit of Vanguard Clones. So, let's get into the game itself. We were playing Declined Flank, so the scoring for this is every one of these zones is worth 2 victory points. If you hold 3 zones, you get an additional 2 victory points. If you hold them all, you get an additional victory point. And at the beginning of every round, the person going first will pick one zone, and the person going second will pick a different zone, and those zones will not be scored, won't contribute points for that round. So, in essence, both of us should be scoring about 2 every turn, or a max of 2 unless we get across the border and really push across. The great thing about TTS is you know your opponent beforehand, and you know the objective beforehand. You can look at the table, kind of plan things out. For this one, I did rounds 1 and 2 kind of a setup because I really liked the board that TTS has for Declined Flank. I really like this map. So I really planned out my turns 1 and 2 deployment against this Spire list, so we'll kind of go through that. Starting from left to right, we got the Water Mage in the bottom left corner. I want to put this over here to potentially, shoot at this if he plans to park a unit of Force-Grown Drones in here at some point. We got a unit, and we can also back off if needed. We got the big brick of Household Guard to sit in this field here, which will be obscuring and also can score, and will also be able to be healed by the Water Mage. I'm anticipating, outside of the Abominations and Siegebreaker, the scariest thing in my opponent's list is that unit of Marksman's Clones with the High Clone Executor. I play Longbows, like a 4 brick of Longbows in my orders list, and I know just how much that range shooting can kind of wear down. So I've anticipated that going up on this hill of my opponent and shooting into this zone once he saw the Household Guard deploy. So I was hoping that the Water Mage here obscuring, I would be able to kind of hold this zone. The Longbows would be over here to help contest. So that's why the Longbows are on this side, and also Longbows have long enough range with a center deployment. They can threaten most of this over here if they have to move, and we can also threaten this side if need be. We can arcing fire over the house if needed. That same kind of logic goes to this unit of Hunter Cadre. Can threaten both sides, especially with the Imperial 1-turn ability for a free reform. Once they've committed to a certain side, I can reform a couple of key units to better pick a direction to fight here. We're going to send a unit of Men-at-Arms here to hold this point, a backup one to be able to charge the side if needed. Fire Mage on the hill on my side, and then Hunter Cadre are going to hold this right flank, score this zone, and threaten whatever shoots in here. And then my Steel Legion will kind of go to fill in gaps where needed. I anticipate I'll need more men over here because you'll probably send something to threaten the crossbows and try and get into the side here. So I was thinking between 1 or 2 of my MSUs of Steel Legion would have to go over here, although one might end up over here. This unit, this circle's in red because I knew this one I want to sit on the whole time. This one, the Hunter Cadre, will be happy to sit in for a long time. This might be the one where if I do a push, it might be on this side because we can push with hunter cadre, crossbows, hunter cadre if needed, and the 2 MSUs of household, or not household knights, MSUs of men at arms. And we may be able to push into this circle here, and then we could potentially score these 4 or these 3, and then maybe if something survives the fight over here, can come back and capture this one. So potentially going for these 4, but definitely want to try and hold these 3. That was my overall strategy for like turns 1 and 2 deployment, and how I hoped things would go. Let's get into the actual game though. So end of round 1, Strix, very good position here, dead center. They're super fast. They can fly over this obstructing building. And then we have a unit of clones here, force clone drones, not clones, drones. And they're going to come up here and score potentially with the ability that makes one light a medium. I have my water mage coming into position. I didn't get the longbows. And then my fire mage has taken position over here as well on the hill. A lot of threat range from here, so both me and my opponent are keeping, what's your march charge range kind of threats, moving the ruler out even this early in the game. That projects a lot of threat from my ranged units. Round 2, a lot more stuff on the board. I have everything on the board I possibly could have. So everything is kind of coming in the way I had hoped. We're threatening to take this zone. We're seizing these 2. He's threatening these 3. Everything's looking pretty well set up. I'm staggering my men at arms here to hopefully take the Strix hits, and then the Vanguard or the Hunter Cadre is so far back because with the fly, I don't want him to be able to jump over the men at arms, get into the Cadre, and mess them up. And I definitely don't want them getting into the longbows. So that's why the longbows are so far back. They're only like 6 inches up when they could have moved like 13 to really push the terrain out. So this is really keeping my ranged units back. The one thing that really surprised me on my side, though, for my opponent, is this unit of marksman clones. I did not expect this unit to deploy in the forest. I didn't realize that they wouldn't be obscured shooting out of it. I thought for sure that they would threaten this side that's more open with them on the hill. So this on this side is really bad for me because they got 20-inch range, and both of mine are 16 here. This one is 16, but it's going to be stuck behind these units. So I'd have to do a move, shoot, and then he could aim volley me back. Otherwise, I'd be out of range at if he holds at 21 inches, he'd just have to move forward an inch. And he could shoot me first before I'd get the chance to move shoot. Because our cards and activations were pretty close to each other. At this stage of the game where nobody's lost any units, I think it was 14 to 14 cards with my Art of War. So we're both really kind of playing around this giant threat range of this unit here. And I don't have a lot I can do with this Strix holding up here. Until the Strix is dealt with, I can't really push up. Because the one idea is this Vanguard or Marksman clone can only shoot one unit around. So if I push really fast with men at arms, crossbows, Hunter Cadre, and bring a Steel Legion in, that's 6 units. I should be able to get something in to just tie this up. Hopefully chip away at the Vanguard clones with the range shots on the way in. Although he does have this nice unit of Desolation drones supporting. It'll be kind of bloody, but I think I can still push in if I coordinate it all well and get in on this. Over here, I'm not too concerned about what's going on. The Household Guard are perfectly fine to sit here. We'll take on the clones when they come in. The Brute Drones, that's a good matchup for these, or a decent matchup. And we can do some shooting if needed. So, overall, looking pretty good, although this is going to be a big threat for my right flank. And round 3, everybody's in. I don't think there's any units that are missing. Both of us are fully deployed here. You can see he did soldier up with these force-grown drones and get into contact with the mercenary crossbows. I did bring the crossbows up a bit just to get some plinking shots in there with the 8 damage that they could do automatically from dying. I really wanted to try and see if I could kill them just from shooting. I almost got there. I think there's 2 wounds left on the unit. On one hand, that's okay because now it makes the charge with the abominations, because the abominations are super fast. I found out I didn't realize how fast they are. They're like as a 22 move charge threat range if he uses some biomancy on them or pheromones on them. The spiders are just weird. These guys go fast. I found out. But I do have my Imperial Officer with the Steel Legion. If this does die, um, we can come in and smash whatever killed them, hopefully. As you can see, we're measuring out the Strix yet. The Strix haven't gone. You'll notice I lost a stand and a half from 1 volley. That's just like Barrage 5. It's so many dice. I'm finding there, like, the range on it's like I'm just towing the zone, or even if I was back a little bit further, you'd still have shots. Just Withering Fire, I need to get up and go, and in order to do that, I need these Strix to come forward. So we're just kind of shuffling forward. We have the Steel Legion jumping the crossbows. They're going to kind of lead the charge, hopefully clear out this, and we're going to just push in and try and kill these marksman clones. Hunter Cadre, I'm not committing this way yet because we got all these monsters on this side, but this is a big brick. The longbows will get some good chip damage in. The Hunter Cadre, if needed, can get some chip damage in. We have the Steel Legion here. He's scoring 1 zone this round, and I'm scoring 3, so I'm getting a bit of a points lead, even though we don't score these ones. It does count as 3 seizing, so I get those bonus 2 points, so I'm getting 6 for the round. My opponent's only getting 2. So we're taking a bit of a points lead. We're well set up our lines here. We're getting ready for this big push. We did catch some Withering Fire, though, so it's a little bit concerning just how many dice, especially with the Deadly Shot, is coming in from this side already. End of 4. Lots of things happened here. We did kill that first unit of Force-Grown drones, and one of the abominations came in and also died. They died to shooting magic from the mage, and the abomination actually charged through. There's only 1 stand of Force-Grown drones left, so it charged up in here and did some clash or impacts, and I lost like a stand. But on the attacks, no, I didn't lose the stand at that point. They just charged to engage. I attacked back, and I put this stand into the Force-Grown drone, and to these 3 into the abomination. These guys like rolled hot and almost killed the abomination. This stand killed the Force-Grown drone. Force-Grown drone explodes, and I lose some guys, but then the mage kills off. I believe the mage killed off the abomination here, or the longbow was finished off. It had like 2 wounds left. However, it looks like the mage here is probably going to die. I'm not going to be able to jump over with the Steel Legion like I wanted because I took that little bit of an angle. I shouldn't have taken that slight angle. I should have kept him straighted out. So slight misplay earlier in the round. I wanted just that slight angle to get a little bit further forward and get a little bit more threat and get a little bit more arc to get this way. But I'm ending up paying for it now. I can't jump the Steel Legion over. Nothing's engaging the Household Guard yet, but we're chipping away at this Force-Grown drone with the longbows. Nothing lost over here. The Strix did come in. Only did like 2 wounds with the Strix on this unit of men-at-arms. So now I know if I go first, I can kill this off quick, and then we can get the push going. However, bad news on the push. This unit of Steel Legion stepped forward just a bit, and it lost 11 wounds. It was quite terrible. So they're already almost dead. And then the Hunter Cadre are shooting and not getting any damage into the Vanguard clones with their evasion. So the Steel Legion's broken. Just had a really good roll. Actually, I believe the roll was kind of mediocre, but it was balanced out by my terrible saves. I think he got 6. What was it? 6 hits. I rolled 1-1. I rolled 1-5 for a defense, and then I rolled 4 6s. So from 6 hits, I ended up taking 9 damage. So Deadly Shot coming in clutch over here. Very much a spike. With this Steel Legion dying, or presumed to die quite easily. My hopes of being able to push into this Vanguard or Marksman clone and Vanguard clones is rapidly fading, but we can maybe delay a bit. If we can kill the Vanguard clones, get rid of a unit that can score. This can only shoot one unit around. Maybe we can just keep pieces on the board to hold these two zones. We'll still send this forward to try and kill a stand or something. We'll see what happens. Siegebreaker moving up a little bit. Desolate drones or brute drones moving up a little bit, and these guys setting up the kill over here. The elusive round 5, I missed it the last tournament. Round 2, I missed it this one. Round 5, a lot of things happen. We're here at the end of 6. So between 5 and 6, what changed? From 4, you'll see that there's a lot less over on this side of the board. The Strix got cleaned up from a side charge. We did on 5. We did the Imperial ability to get free reforms. So we got charges in the side, cleaned it up. Between those 2 rounds, we've killed a standoff here. At the end of 6 is when these crossbows decide to come up and shoot. 5 or 6. I'm really debating if this picture is 5 or 6. I think it's 6. But the story of the right flank that's happening in this game is these marksman clones are absolutely killing me. They're doing what my unit of longbows used to do, and even more effectively because they have the character in there. So we threw the mage in like this way because those are the only ways that we could get a shot in. We're really hoping they could try and kill this, and then just lose slowly over here at this point to try and hold these 2 points as long as we can. And make it so that they have to camp on this point. Because if this survives and it can score this, and this can score this, and this is scoring this, and then one of these can shuffle over, then he's got 4 zones and he can start catching up. So we're going to try and kill this, even if we're throwing away the Fire Mage. We tried it, and it didn't work out very well. We had Steel Legion get shot up. This Desolate Drones just got close enough to finish up the Men-at-Arms that was here. We're starting to chip away at the Siegebreaker. We did kill the Abomination, killed the Mage over here, along with the Force-Grown Drones, but we killed them back with the Steel Legion. We lost a stand for it. Force-Grown Drones came up here and did the whole burnout, attacked, did a stand and a half of damage, but the mage healed them before the mage died. So we healed up most of the damage. And now just a wave coming in. So this side is still looking strong. With the Armor of Dominion, we don't fear the Siegebreaker so much. We kind of fear the Desolate Drones. But we're still pretty strong on the left side. But the right side is completely collapsing. And these guys just have my number and are filling me with arrows. And just because they're in the forest too, or in the obscuring here, I can't even counter shoot them that effectively. So we're just gonna try and kill this and hold as much as we can, kind of delay the loss of the right side. So end of 7 here. The Siegebreaker decided to go into the Hunter Cadre, almost killed them. The Hunter Cadre got some hits back. It got shot up by the longbows. The longbows are an effective range, so it was well set up here. He could long charge and only get impacts on the longbows, in which case the cadre would charge you, or you charge the cadre here and the longbows get very effective shots here. So we're hoping that the longbows and the cadre can finish this off. We're just holding these zones. We lost the mage to 1 volley from the marksman clones. The Steel Legion is battling the Abomination over here, and then they just side shuffled here to score the zone. Once again, we're finding just the 1 brick of very, tanky, heavy dudes that wants to sit and make you fight them. Well, if there's 6 zones that contest, they just won't fight you unless they have to, and they don't. There's plenty of zones that contest. They're just leaving the brick alone until they can see how this all sorts out. So this is once again not really getting its points, one could argue, for the game, just because it's being avoided and it's not doing any output. Because, I could charge, but then I'm not scoring points. The way that he had it set up is if I were to do a charge, I would have to move charge him, and then I'm not getting any damage from that. he'll get an attack back on me, and then if I win supremacy, he'll attack me again, and this can shoot me. So I can't really afford to leave this zone because I'll lose points and I'll lose just a lot of men for not a lot of damage output. So the Noble Lord is just watching his army die around him and siege Behemoth's charge into Hunter Cadre. But he's holding the line in the field with his longbows. Can't really see what's going on the right side, but he hears the sound of arrows and screams, so he has a rough idea. End of 8. Um, we lost a lot of men here, but we killed the siege breaker off. This is engaged. We lost the Steel Legion, and this is just out of range to be shot. I think there's only one stand that has range to this abomination. Hunter Cadre's got a couple wounds left, and then this one did a long charge into the guys here to try and tie them up. The story of the next round is another misplay of mine. At this point, for the next round, as we're going into 9, I did not have the initiative, so my opponent has a much better chance of going first. The battle I wanted to win here is I wanted to win this one really bad, so I could hopefully one-shot this, and then not take some damage, so later turns I could charge into here. And then hopefully I could move and shoot this guy over here. However, knowing my opponent had the advantage, this is also probably the most important battle for him. Like, he's got 3 units here. These guys are important, but there's not too much left to shoot over here. So this is probably second priority. So his first priority is probably this too, because he's got the A-bomb, he's got the brute drones, he's got these guys all shooting into this. He probably wants to go first, get the damage here, and then clean up with this. So knowing I was probably going to lose the roll, I should have put the cadre first on my end. Because what happened is I did go first with, we'll just go to the end of 9. I did end up going first with my Household Knights, but it was after my opponent had gone. So we did finish up, or we did kill the Desolation drones, or Brute drones, excuse me. So many drones to try and keep track of. But he went first, did a bunch of damage. I struck back. Then he went over here. He killed the Hunter Cadre. These guys have burned out a little bit. If I had gone first, there's a good chance I could have killed this unit and prevented some more scoring on this side. So we did go to round 10 just to see if the longbows could finish off some Desolation drones. There was only a couple wounds left. Maybe I could stop them from scoring, but wasn't able to. The longbows kind of failed me at the end. Last 2 or 3 rounds, I think they only got like 3 hits, which is about average, but they made their saves, or enough saves that they didn't die. So this was the board state. We had some more survivors compared to our other games. We had longbows that they'll probably die here very shortly, so they're not reporting back. But the Noble Lord and his couple surviving guard are gonna skedaddle off to the side into the forest, or into the plains, I guess, to say, what happened here. So final was 26-40, really close game, really fun. We'll kind of get into that. So slightly mispleased on my part. I kind of mentioned them as they came up. It's been a day or two, so a little fuzzy on some of the details. Some of the rounds might got blurred, but the overall story of the game and most of the facts should be correct there. My biggest miss here, or biggest problem, was the marksman deployment was really strong. Not what I anticipated. I didn't realize that they could sit in that field and shoot just as effectively. So as you can see, my entire right flank, if we go back and look, it's like we had 2 men-at-arms, 2 Hunter Cadre, Chapter Mage, all on that side. And effectively, the Vanguard clones over there never attacked. The Desolate drones cleaned up like a stand of men-at-arms here or there. And the Strix came in and did like 2 wounds to the men-at-arms. So I lost, essentially, 2 units of men-at-arms, Chapter Mage, a Hunter Cadre, all to the marksman clones over the course of the game. So that's 4 units. Oh, and the Steel Legion, 5 units to just that 1 unit of marksman clones. totally wrecked my right hand flank. They totally got their points worth. Really, really strong unit. And, when I use longbows, I kind of get the same effect. Definitely feeling that I needed another stand or two of longbows instead of null mages, because the null mages couldn't do anything against spiders. Overall, it was a really fun monster heavy list. I mean, there's 3 monster bases there, 2 abominations, and the siege behemoth against an all infantry Hunter Kingdom list. It was just super fun, thematic. Imagine your crossbows and mages getting munched by A bombs for your Steel Legion to be yelling steel and charging up and finishing them off from behind. Really great tactical battle, good banter back and forth. It was just a really, really fun game. And yeah, if all your games are like that, and just Conquest is such a fun game to play. I think I'm going to do a recap of my experiments of the list. How did the MSU work of Steel Legion throughout the tournament? How did the Null Mages work? How was the plan for all the chip damage? How was the Household Guard brick? In another video in a couple days, we might be doing a 4th round. They had mentioned at the beginning of the tournament they might do a 4th if there's enough people. I don't remember if we're doing a 4th or not. If we're not, in a couple days, I'll have, kind of what I thought about each one of those points. But that's all my thoughts for today. You all have a good one.